Hello, people of the internet. It is I, Soul Dragon here, back with more Stay Night Remaster, where we will be officially beginning the Rin route with unlimited Blade Wux. We are somewhere around here. We're here. Somewhere around here. I think we just woke up on day 4 is what it was. But yeah, we're beginning unlimited Blade Wux here, so I just gotta be very careful because I did burn myself earlier today, and it makes maneuvering my arm, especially since I have my keyboard inside of my desk, a little bit awkward because if I bump the wrong way, I bump the burn, and that is not gonna be pleasant. But we will be loading the hard save that I did, just so I can see what the day was called, because I don't remember. Scene loaded. But yeah, burned my arm earlier today. I was making my dinner and some hot oil splashed on my arm. Got it under cold water. 1 day 3. That unlimited blade works for 1 day 3. That's a mouthful. But yeah, ran it under cold water and patch of skin all automatically peeled off. And even though that's peeled off, I can still see parts where it's raw. So I got good by the oil. It got me good, and it hurt. Still hurts even, but I'm dealing with it. I've never seen anything like this before. There's a sky of flames overhead. At my feet, the steel of uncountable blades. The remnants of war, perhaps. This world is endless and lifeless. Not a single living thing inhabits it. I'm trying to see if there's any recognizable fate swords here. Not off the top of my head. It does look like they might have copy and pasted some models, though, perhaps. I'm just trying to get a good idea here. See if I can't pick out any copy and paste, because, I mean, there's some distinct ones. Can you see my mouse? Yeah, you can see my mouse. But the chat is sort of covering, but over here, sort of behind the chat, there's a weirdly distinct one with a distinct guard, and then this one right here has very little guard. It almost looks like this one over here, but this one has a bit more of an outer edge to it. No, I think that most of the distinct blades do seem to have their own unique style to them, which is very nice. I'm kind of glad that they made them all distinct. A wind carries ashes through a forest of blades. The number of swords in this woodland of steel is uncanny. They are not just 10 or 20, not even 100 or 2. Though there has to be an end somewhere. If someone can't count them all, the total number may as well be unlimited. The myriad of weapons thrust upon the earth rust away from disuse. The myriad weapons thrust upon the earth rust away from disuse. That's... I hope that's a bit of alliteration from Shiro, because they shouldn't be rusting. The remains of a great many swords. He thinks that. This place is like a graveyard. Is it a graveyard, though? Is it really? My vision returns. It's definitely late in the morning based on how sunny it is already. That dream. I hazily open my eyes and try to remember the dream I was having. A hill of swords. I must be dreaming that sort of thing, because the battle Saber had in the graveyard and the fire that... You awake? That's good. I'm glad it's nothing serious. You know, just Rin in our room, as she do. I realize Rin Tosaka is there looking down at me with a real condescending expression as she speaks matter-of-factly. Yeah, that is a condescending expression, isn't it, Rin? And then surprised. I fly out of bed. Wow, Shiro Emiya has gained the ability of flight. Like a startled cat, I scurry so my back is to the wall as far as I can get from Tosaka. Pardon me. What are you doing in my room? Why are you in my room? My head spins. He's an owl. I was on a hill of swords. No, the burning cemetery with sabers, so why am I sleeping in my room, and how is it already morning? Why are you here? And what am I doing here? This is your room, Shiro, so that is what you are doing there. As soon as I say that, my head starts spinning more. This isn't just because I'm disoriented from everything else. What's really making my heart race is seeing Tosaka's face so close up on top of everything else. You'll be seeing it a lot closer, Shiro. If you're going to be shocked about something, just pick one. You don't quite have the intellect for both, Emiya. Oblivious to how I feel, Tosaka just carries on like normal. It's enough of a slap to the face to bring me to my senses. That's right. It's natural to be surprised by Tosaka's face as soon as I wake up. But that means... I get it. You carried me here after I fell unconscious. Wow, you're sharper than I thought. You look like a mess, but I guess upstairs is still working. Interesting. Very interesting. I wish she'd stop saying stuff like that makes it hard to tell whether she's being critical or giving a compliment. So part of the day has passed since then. You carried me home. I'm guessing that means nobody saw anything. Yeah, that's right. It helps that you understand. Perhaps that satisfied her. She bids a quick farewell and makes to leave. Wait, where are you going? Still asleep over there? What do you mean, where am I going? This is your house. I can't stay here forever. She speaks firmly. Her eyes say we're enemies, rather pointedly. That is true. Last night, we declared that we would fight at the church. So then we can only fight each other. You're right, sorry. Also, this is late, but thank you. Dot dot dot. She doesn't want to be thanked. Then, Tosaka pauses and glares at me. Hold on, why are you thanking me? Well, you helped me out, right? I'm even more thankful if you insist on being enemies. Hey, sit right there, Emiya. I don't know why she's doing this, but I have a feeling I'd better listen. Or else. Come on, hurry up. She taps the floor. Dot 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 dot. It seems she has something serious to tell me. What, that you guys are enemies and you shouldn't be getting all buddy-buddy with her? Probably. That is probably what she wishes to tell you. There, Shiro. I obediently sit down if that's the case. Look, I have to say this since you don't seem to get it. You're going to die if you keep thinking like that. What do you mean? I'm telling you not to thank your enemies even offhandedly. If you're concerned about something like that, you're not even going to make it even if you have extra lives. Look, you have to think of them as obstacles. Just because they look and talk like humans doesn't mean they're anything like you. She explained it with a firm voice and a strong look. She is right. If it is dangerous to feel sympathy for the enemy, it'd be a mistake to waste time worrying about this sort of thing. Since I've decided to fight, I need to focus on defeating them. I get why she's saying this, but that's... Hey, are you listening? Holy Grail War is where you kill each other to win the prize. In order to do that, you can't think of other masters as fellow people. Even if it's your family, you need to come to terms with seeing them as a target to destroy. Really, this is the first rule as a master. Yeah, but then... I understand that, but if so, why didn't you kill me? Exactly. Wouldn't that be an issue? That's because... And just where did all that bluster go now? She clears her throat, even more troubled. I just didn't feel like it. I owed you, and it's not fair to attack you when you're sleeping. I just didn't like the idea, okay? It's because of the high jump. You have to high jump in front of her again, Shiro. Tosaka, didn't you just tell me to do whatever I can to win? That's right, so this is a mistake on my part. I suppose I'm not afraid since I'm so much stronger than you. Well, I guess it's extra weight on my mind. Oh, I've heard her say that before. What on your mind? Weight on your mind? Shiro. Come on, man. Come on, man. You have more tact than that. You have more tact than that, Shiro Emiya. You say funny things, Emiya. But you should think real long and hard from here on out. If you aren't careful, you will end up dead. That was scary. I just crawled backwards instinctively. Well, anyway, that's all I have to say. Ask your servant about the rest. Tosaka stands up and heads out without stopping this time. Goodbye. We'll be enemies next time we meet, so be prepared. Excuse me. With that, she's gone. It must have really been on a whim when she carried me here and treated me. She left without any regret or expressing any sentiment, just a declaration that we're enemies. Definitely different from the Fate route, how they are allies from the start. Well, I take a quick breath and try to organize my thoughts. I haven't even had time to think since witnessing that fight between Lancer and Archer back at school. True, he has been going non-stop since then. I see then, that must have been Tosaka. Really, Shiro? The pieces are just now starting to fall in place? Yes, you've been on an adrenaline high, but it should not take you that long, man. After that, I got stabbed in the heart by Lancer. Someone somehow got saved and came home, then got attacked by Lancer again. Saber saved me, and I became a master. So then I had things explained in the church. The Holy Grail War, a battle to the death, the Holy Grail, a device said to grant any wish to the victor. None of that has sunk in yet, but I've been attacked by enemies 3 times already. I can't afford to stay clueless forever. That's going to be quite the feat if you manage to not remain clueless forever, Shiro. More importantly, I said that I would fight, not that I had any real choice. A life and death game of musical chairs. No matter what your expectations are, once you participate, you can't survive unless you defeat your enemies. The problem is, depending on how you go about it, you run the risk of harming other innocent people who aren't involved. So, my reason to fight in the Holy Grail War is not to survive and win. It's to do everything I can to stop those who will try to win by any means necessary. That was weird. I guess it was him blinking. They don't really animate the blinking that often. There should be nothing wrong with that. To champion justice, I've been practicing magecraft to save any innocent lives that may be wrongly victimized. Alright, I need to talk to Saber first. I try to shake the priest's words as they cling to the back of my mind as I make my way towards the hall. After making a full round of the house, Saber is nowhere to be found. I even checked the detached guest rooms, but I can't find her. That's weird. The armor isn't exactly camouflage. Even so, a fully armed and armored Saber still eludes me. So Rin still provides Saber her clothes in this route. Good to know. Supposedly servants can turn into spirit forms, but unfortunately she can't with me. No. First of all, even though I'm called a master, I don't know anything about her. I don't even know what Saber is or how servants are able to exist. The one thing I do know is I feel I can get through this strange battle as long as I'm with this golden-haired knight. He sees her more as a knight than as a girl as well already. She's not here either. I've looked around the entire house. It's the size of a traditional Japanese inn, but I've played hide-and-seek with Fujini when I was a kid, so I know the most efficient way to search it. She must be in the dojo, or the shed if she isn't in the house itself. The dojo is a safe bet. Saber is in the still, silent dojo. But her appearance is different from yesterday. She's sitting upright, her legs tucked beneath herself on the wooden floor. She's not wearing her armor. She changed into a rather elegant clothes that really suit her. Now she sits and waits. So we still get this scene. Words fail me at the sight. She looks beautiful, and strikes a refined, dignified figure as she sits there, eyes closed. She seems to almost merge with the silence like nothing so much as still water. Dot dot dot. And that rids me of any further doubt in my mind. Servant or whatever she is, she seems sacrosanct. So from now on, I'm sure I won't go down the wrong path. It's gonna happen a couple times, unfortunately, Shiro. We need to see those bad endings. I call to her. She calmly opens her eyes and slowly meets my gaze. You're awake, Shiro. Her voice is serene. Something rich and calm about her voice hangs in the air. Yeah, I just woke up. What are you doing here? I was resting. Since I cannot treat you, I figured that I would at least ensure my body is in as perfect condition as I can make it. Sarah gives a straightforward response as she scrutinizes me. This is making me nervous in a different way than Tosaka did. What is it? Is your body still? No, I'm totally fine. It's something else, really. It's nothing. I quickly take a step back and shake my head. Looking away from Saber, who tilts her head at me quizzically, I try to calm my rapid heartbeat. Get a hold of yourself. Why are you getting worked up like this? Come on, Shiro, this is the Reen route! The Reen route! No, Saber. Focus on the Reen. I take a deep breath, but I don't think this feeling is going away anytime soon. Man, why'd you have to change? I can't help myself. With Saber in that outfit, I can't help but actually think she's real now. Seriously, she's drop-dead gorgeous. I mean, I saw that yesterday, but it's actually setting in now. As soon as we make eye contact, I can feel my nervousness grow. Then again, I wasn't looking everywhere for her just to stay silent. It's uncomfortable, but I can't let it be awkward forever. Alright. May I, Saber? This is the first time for us to sit down and actually figure things out, but I bite the bullet. But then... Shiro, before that, there is something I would like to address regarding last night. Sure. What is it? As I said last night, you are my master. It's troubling if you take such actions. Combat is my territory, so please stay behind me and out of the direct line of fire. Last night? I try to recall what all happened. Is Saber talking about how I tried to pull her away from Archer's attack? I mean, hey, at least Shiro didn't end up gutted like a fish last night. I couldn't help it. If you're risking your life, it's just about all I can do. This wouldn't be a partnership otherwise. It's only natural to help if your partner is in danger. That's different than his normal reaction. He's not saying because you're a girl. Truly, you still don't know what servants are, yet you already have that much faith in me. Saber seems genuinely surprised. Well, we shook on it, and you've saved me so many times already. I'd be crazy to not trust you by now. She looks up at me, stunned. She remembers Fate Route. She's surprised Shiro Enemy is acting with a brain! Is that not what our contract means? I have to ask now that I'm second-guessing myself. Saber quietly shakes her head. As a servant, I appreciate your words. Besides, I would have been fatally wounded if you had not done so. The methods by which you acted were problematic, but your purpose was correct. I see, that's good. I was desperate, but it worked out in the end, huh? Yes, however, please refrain from such actions from now on. Even if I'm wounded, I will heal immediately if you're alive and well. But if you were to be wounded, I do not have any way to heal you. Yeah, Ned, I'll be careful. You're right. That was reckless of me. I'll do better next time. I'm not sure exactly how, but I do realize I shouldn't just keep jumping in without thinking. And so... Shiro Emiya grew a brain that day. This is the proper response, Master. I must have been acting funny to her. I think she smiled briefly. ... I shake off my blush. More importantly, there's something that I have to get clear right now. I should have asked her yesterday anyway. She really is my servant, and if I really am going to participate in this battle... Going back to our conversation, Saber. Well, just making sure again, but can I call you Saber? Yes, as a servant who has formed a contract with you, I am your sword. I shall follow your orders, attack your enemies, and protect you. Saber says without any hesitation. There's no room for me to question her intentions. You're my sword, huh? To win the Holy Grail thing? Is that not why you summoned me? No, I only summoned you by chance. I'm an amateur mage, after all. I'm sorry, but I don't have the knowledge or power as a master. But now that I've decided I'll fight, I'm inexperienced as a master, but are you okay with that? Of course. You're my master, Shiro. This fact will not change no matter what. Servants do not have the freedom to choose their master. Dot dot dot. He's shocked. Is that true? Then I can only do what I can within the best of my abilities to respond to Saber. Got it. So if you're fine with me being your master, Saber. She literally just said that, dude. Yes, however, I will not allow defeat. Hesitation is defeat. She is Artoria Pendragon, King of Camelot, who has never known defeat. If you do not have any chance, it is my duty to carve out a path to victory. I will use any means possible to have you win the Holy Grail. Except for, murdering innocent people. She won't do that, so not any means possible. We servants do not serve our masters out of charity. We serve you because we also desire the Holy Grail. Hold on, you mean you want the Holy Grail too? Of course. Originally, the only ones who can touch the Holy Grail spiritual forms are servants who are also spirits. Masters who win the Holy Grail will obtain the Holy Grail through their servant. After that, the servant will have their wish granted in return. That is the relationship between servant and master, Shiro. Hey, J6, welcome to the stream. Happy things. There might be some delay. I'm getting a lot of instability on my end of things. And if there is, then there's just going to be a little bit more delay in you hearing my words and all that good response stuff. I see. Come to think of it, there's no reason for these absurdly strong heroic spirits would listen to humans normally. And yes, indeed, tomorrow is the day Pokemon Presents, or whatever it's being called. We will finally get some news about Legends ZA. And I'm looking forward to it. Definitely looking forward to it. They only serve masters as part of a contract to achieve their own goals. So that means Saber also has a wish she wants granted. That's why Saber does not hesitate. But that is... Hold on, Saber. You said any means possible, right? Does that mean you don't care what measures you take to win? For example, like that priest said, having innocent people who aren't even masters and creating disastrous scene like 10 years ago. Shiro, that is not what I mean by any means possible. Then it's not any means possible, Seba. Come on. You can't be... I will do anything to win this war, but not anything to win this war. That's just being hypocritical. I can only do things I allow myself to. It's impossible for me to betray my own beliefs. Harming unarmed innocents goes against a knight's oath. However, I must obey if you order so. In that case, you will have to use one of your command spells in compensation. I got overwhelmed by the edge in her voice. At the same time, I feel relief flooding through me. I need to see if there's, like, what is causing the dropped frames here. It says there's only one detection of dropped frames. So it must be this... It must be Twitch side of things, then, if it's not Streamlabs. Okay. It's Twitch side, is my guess is what the error is. At the same time, I feel relief flooding through me. Saber seemed like a robot because her extraordinary power and lack of hesitation, but I now know she's not some cold-blooded killer. Yeah, I wouldn't make you do something like that. Just as you say, we have to do our best. What we can do, I'm really sorry, but what I said must have been insulting. I think it might be better to just reply in chat at this point. Indeed. Apologies for delay in response. Twitch be laggy today. No, I also failed to grasp your intentions and jump to conclusions. You're not at fault, so could you please raise your head? No, I bowed without realizing it. I raised my head. Dot 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 dot. I don't know what's so funny, but Saber has a small smile on her face. Well, I'm glad she's smiling, so I won't question it. Okay then, can I ask one more thing? You said masters are mages who summon servants, right? I get that, but I still don't quite understand your side of things. I do know that Saber and Lancer aren't your real names, though. Yes, those are only names that are given based on each of our roles. Alright, I shall use this opportunity to give you a rough explanation. We servants are heroic spirits. Wow, there's like a 4-minute delay. Each of us made a name for ourselves in our respective time periods. We accomplished some great deed beyond human capabilities. Whatever the means, we are beings who have been sublimated to deity-esque status. That much is obvious. Heroic spirits have supernatural abilities when they were alive, were celebrated after their deaths, and were promoted to a higher spiritual rank than a ghost or such. Shiroemi is showing intelligence. But at the same time, that is also our weakness. Because heroic spirits left a mark on history, our weaknesses were also recorded. By revealing our names and identities, we would be revealing our weakness. Logic. It's no problem if an enemy is spiritually inferior, but we are all heroic spirits that have the power to kill each other. If our weaknesses are revealed, the enemy would take advantage of that to defeat us. I see. Heroes usually do have some opponent that they're weak against, so that's why you're using a name like Saber to conceal your real name. Yes, however, that is not the only reason I am called Saber. There are 7 servants who are called forth by the Holy Grail. Each of them are all selected according to their classes. Well, so that's where Saber and Archer come from. That's correct. First of all, summoning a heroic spirit itself is close to a miracle. 7 of them is even too much for the Holy Grail. In order to solve that, the Holy Grail prepares 7 vessels beforehand and only calls forth heroic spirits who are compatible with those vessels. Such vessels are like objects that keep us temporarily bound to this world. Those are the 7 classes. And we get this explanation again. The Holy Grail calls forth heroic spirits with capabilities that correspond to each role from any time period. And those who are assigned these classes are called servants. I get it. So you're a Saber because you're a heroic spirit who is good with a sword. Correct, there may be some heroic spirits who possess multiple attributes, but I would say in all humanity there are none better than I with a sword. There's probably a fair few. However, that is also my disadvantage. I'm not a mage, so I can only defeat enemies as your sword. You mean you're not good at the cloak and dagger stuff? I don't consider that a weakness. You're more than strong enough for a Saber. As a Saber. Shiro, battles are not won through might alone. This is hypothetical, but if your enemy was better at close combat than you, then what would you do? Well, I guess I know that I wouldn't be able to win a fight if I just fight head-on, so I would have to do something without fighting. I understand once I say that. If their opponent is strong, they're not going to fight fair. Defeating opponents with a sword isn't the only way to fight. If you can't beat them with a sword, all you have to do is beat them some other way. That is correct. If your opponent discovers that you're skilled in close combat, then they will most likely not challenge you thusly. In that sense, servants who lack the ability will use any means possible. The assassin servant lacks combat capabilities, but has the ability to hide its presence, and the caster servant is proficient in magecraft that does not exist in this age. You cannot get your hopes up from a difference in strength alone. Additionally, we have things called noble phantasms. No matter what kind of servant we are, as heroic spirits, we have the opportunity to create a fatal attack. Noble phantasm? I've not heard that term. Though I think I can glean the meaning from the words. I hope you can, Shiro. Noble phantasms are a special weapon that servants have. Weapons like Lancer Spear, Archer's Bow, and my sword are all such treasured tools. Except Archer's Bow isn't really a noble phantasm, it's just a super alloyed metal bow, I think. Heroes do not become so by themselves, it's due to their chosen weapons, the very symbol of their existence, that they are recognized as heroes. Heroes and their armaments are one, and as such, those who become heroic spirits bear famed and powerful weapons. That is a noble phantasm, the trump card for servants, and what we must be most wary of. Dot dot dot. Saber says that noble phantasms are weapons that heroic spirits had while they were alive. I recall that Blue Knight's spear. It sucked up all the magical energy in the air and stabbed Saber's chest with impossible trajectory. That thing is certainly not something a normal human can handle. The spear itself carried a strong curse, but I felt an amount of magical energy on another level from the words Lancer spoke back then, too. Then, could it be our noble phantasm's magecraft? Lancer's spear certainly seemed like something with history, but the spear itself was not extraordinary. Oh, Shiro. But then with his words, the spear went beyond the realm of weapons. Is that a type of magecraft? Yes, noble phantasms are certainly similar to magecraft. Take, for example, Lancer's spear. It's a noble phantasm, but its true value is demonstrated only when he puts magical energy into it and says its true name. Noble phantasms are technically mystics that are materialized. Just as incantations are necessary to activate magecraft, noble phantasms also need their true names in order to be recited to awaken and activate. However, this also has its dangers. By saying the true name of noble phantasm, that servant's identity will be revealed. I get it, heroes' weapons are set. If you know the name of the weapon, you can work out who wields it. She nods in silence. That's why the noble phantasm is a trump card. In exchange for revealing the identity, it would launch an unavoidable, fatal blow. And if the attack misses or fails, the servant has revealed their weakness. So, Saber, is your noble phantasm that invisible sword? Yes, however, I have not revealed its identity yet. At this point, there shouldn't be any servants who know my true name. With that, Saber looks uncomfortable for a second. I have a request about that matter. What kind of request? It's about my true name. Normally, servants reveal their true name only to their master, so they can plan strategies for the battle ahead. However, you are inexperienced as a mage. If you encounter a superior mage, they should be able to read your mind. Therefore, unless you can't reveal your name yet, yeah, you're right, like hypnosis or being hit with a whisper-type spell, or, I doubt it, but if other masters had mystic eyes, I might start babbling. Okay, I'll leave it up to you to decide when to use your noble phantasm. Are you certain you should make such a rash decision? It's not rash. I thought it over, and I'm satisfied with the conclusion I reached. I did think it through, so don't worry. Moving on, we've talked through most things, but I still don't understand the whole situation. Come to think of it, it's strange. I decided to fight, yet the only opponent I know of is Tosaka, and I have no intention of fighting her at all. Well, Tosaka, Lancer, you know quite a few of your foes, Shiro. Actually, she is ready to fight me, so I guess I'm not the one in any position to say that. Do masters and servants have some sort of mark? I don't really know what I should be doing. No, unfortunately there is no definitive way to identify them. But if other servants are near, a servant can sense their presence, all the more so if they're in physical form. Servants themselves are a powerful force of magical energy. Also, you've seen Ilya. Come on, Shiro. You're able to sense Berserker's presence, correct? That's true. It would be bad if I could only tell once I'm attacked, right? I need to at least notice before they approach to prepare some countermeasure. Then how about tracking the Master's presence? Masters are mages. Since they use magecraft as a living, there will always be magical energy that is leaked. If you search for that, you will be able to identify the Master's whereabouts. Sorry, unfortunately I can't do anything requiring skills like that. I mean, I didn't even realize Tosaka's identity, and we go to the same school. To be fair, she did not realize you either, Shiro. We were in the same building for 2 years, and on top of that, I saw her many times. Damn, no wonder I get made fun of for being an amateur. My only proof as a master is in my command spells. Looks like I have a tough road ahead of me. I sigh heavily. And then... Can you close your eyes for a moment? Saber's face is stern as she speaks. Close my eyes, why? I'm gonna prove that you are a master. Just listen to me, close your eyes, and regulate your breathing. I close my eyes. I feel something slightly touching my forehead. Wait, it's oddly pointed. Could it be the end of her sword? Hold on, are you sure you're not doing anything weird? Master, please be quiet and concentrate on my fingertip. If you're a mage, you should be able to feel my magical energy from that. Oh, so it's Saber's finger touching me. I pull myself together and quiet my mind. Whoa. What is this? What was that? New servant and weapon data added. I don't think there's really anything new. Yeah, there's no real new data. Does this reset upon route? It does reset upon route. Ah, but we see Caldablog the Second. This is believed to be the magic sword owned by the Irish hero Fergus, but just as the 2 in the name suggests, Archer has enhanced it in ways that make it different from its namesake. Caldablog is the noble phantasm said to be the nemesis of Cuchulainn, another great Celtic hero. Due to the geas that Cuchulainn casts on himself, he is fated to lose at least once to the sword if its wielder has ties to the Ulster. Is it not obvious? You and I are connected through a contract, so it's natural to understand my condition. Understand your condition? I do not know how you saw it. Your standards are what determines how you measure a servant's ability. There are some masters who distinguish simply through colors, and there are other masters who understand by comparing them to beasts. In other words, it varies by person, but one perceives it the easiest way for them to identify. This is the basics of being a master, so from now on, please check frequently. You should be able to understand the details of someone after seeing them once. I think I get it now. I was surprised before because it was so sudden, but I might be able to act a bit more like a master now. This concludes my abbreviated explanation. It's a lot to take in, but it makes sense. Sorry for the trouble, Seba. There's no need to apologize. You need to understand the situation we're in to make decisions about our next steps. Saber leans forward attentively, awaiting my next words. This tells me Saber is probably the same as Tosaka. She's the sort to strike first. I don't think we'll do anything particularly different. I don't plan to go looking for other masters to defeat them like Tosaka. That is not what we just talked about. Do you not have any intention of pursuing the Holy Grail as your capacity as a master? Her eyes narrowed. Those eyes are different. Those are the eyes of a cool-headed knight that doesn't accept any disagreement. I stare back, trying to not let myself be intimidated and clearly convey my intentions. Of course I do, but only because I don't want to fall into the wrong hands. I don't have any particular reason to want the Holy Grail for myself. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to fight. I'm a mage even if I am an amateur. I know I can't back out of this situation now, and I won't make it out alive if I just sit and do nothing. So in this battle that you cannot avoid as a mage, instead of fighting to obtain the Holy Grail, instead you're fighting to prevent the conflict over the Holy Grail? I guess that's what it means. Yeah, that's it. I can't really explain it, but I feel like that's something worth fighting for. Yeah. Honestly, the idea of the Holy Grail doesn't feel real to me. But preventing battles, that's something I can fight my hardest for. I don't understand. You say that you're a mage, if so, you should desire the omnipotence of the Holy Grail. Do mages not master their craft because they have a wish they cannot grant themselves? I'm not sure what you're saying. I don't have any unfulfillable wishes. I do have a lot of things that I have to do, though. Yeah. That's why I need to do everything in my power to keep innocent people out of this battle. Does that mean you do not need the Holy Grail? You'll not fight for it? That's not what I'm saying. I have every intention of getting the Holy Grail since I'm going to fight. Your words are contradictory. Why would you bother fighting for something you have no need of? Well, because winning means that you get the Holy Grail. And most of all, you need it, right? Then we have to get it. Dot dot dot. Shock, shock, shock. Yeah, I don't know what kind of people the other masters are. Some of them may be really good people. But I decided I'm going to be on your side. And if you say you want the Holy Grail, then I'll give my all to help you. Dot dot dot. I'm only echoing my old man's opinion, but if you want to be a champion of justice, you need to be an egoist. It's pointless to try to support everybody, so you need to ally yourself only with people you like and trust. I never thought of it that way, but I think I should. I just can't fight for myself. But what I can do is fight for you, Saber. And to be honest, if it's something this girl wants that seriously, it's only natural I want to obtain it for her, no matter what. I mean, don't all guys think that way? Does that mean you would forfeit the fight if I gave up the Holy Grail? Huh? I wouldn't want that, but if Saber does that, everything I've thought of so far falls apart. No, it doesn't matter. I already said I would fight. That's why I've already decided, Saber. I look straight at her in the eye as I declare this. Saber doesn't immediately respond. She instead takes a deep breath and looks at me. Understood. If you say so as a master, I simply have to obey. My objective is the Holy Grail. If your goal is to stop the battle, our ultimate destination is still the same. But I must say one thing, Shiro. Saber stops abruptly. She seems to look far into the distance. Distance. I struggle to put it into words, but I believe you will come to regret what you've said. In fact, I'm sure of it. So she says... Wait, we're supposed to have had a choice at this point. So because we have affection with Rin, we moved to this one compared to not. I don't know how that makes a difference. So it was the Rin affection that leads to this. Or the Saber affection, one or the other. Leads to the not having it leads to that. But instead we've skipped over to where we originally split. Nice. Since it's noon already and we've missed breakfast, we decide to have lunch for now. Saber can't turn into spirit form like Archer, since unlike the other masters, I'm not providing her with the magical energy she needs. It goes without saying that I'm an inexperienced master. So she says she can prevent the consumption of magical energy by getting sleep, but she can't replenish it, no matter how much she limits herself. In that case, the only way to replenish her energy is by eating food. Since I'm in charge of meals, I can't cut corners. Delicious H2O. Servants are materialized using magical energy, right? So then if your magical energy isn't restored, are you going to get weaker as you fight? After putting away the dishes, I ask while I fold my apron. It doesn't mean that energy is never restored. Magical energy is produced within my body as long as I'm active. Even if servants do not get support from without, they can replenish their magical energy using their own magic circuits. And, you know, she just so happens to have a dragon core inside of her that provides magical energy, so she really doesn't need Shiro. Hey, G6, well... yeah. Replying... It will be better to reply, do you inject? Oh, so then there isn't no problem? Well, how do I explain this? Let's see. Let's use this faucet as an example. There is water dripping from the faucet now, correct? Think of this as the amount of magical energy produced within my body. Consider the cup receiving the dripping water as myself. In this state, little by little, I can accumulate magical energy. Now, the more water the cup holds, the more water that can come out of the faucet. As long as the cup holds water, water will continue flowing from the faucet. But once the cup runs out, when I use up my magical energy, the faucet will completely shut off. At which point there is no supply of magical energy, the cup will forever stay empty. That means termination for the servant. Either they receive a fatal wound or they run out of magical energy, though the latter rarely occurs. But it's fine so long as there's at least a drop left in the cup, right? If the cup has magical energy, water, then the faucet is still on. So if time passes, the cup will fill with water. That is correct, however, the water filling the cup is constantly consumed even as we speak. Additionally, if it is lost at an ever-increasing pace during the battle. Additionally, it is in fact, the more powerful the action, the more water it consumes. If I were to use a noble phantasm, I could empty the entire cup, even if it were full. This is getting complicated. To sum it up, since I'm figuratively Saber's faucet, she can only restore magical energy at a slow pace since I'm only providing the equivalent of a small drip. So, to fill the cup with water, she has to vanquish her enemies swiftly, followed by resting and conserving energy as efficiently as possible. And so your noble phantasm is a luxury we can't afford, huh? That's correct. However, it doesn't mean that I cannot use it. If I suppress its power, it should be possible to use it once. What are you saying? I can't let you do that. You're not allowed to use your noble phantasm, okay? If you die using that, there's no way I could ever make it up to you. Saber sets her tea down. She frowns and reaches for the tea. Then, we're thankfully interrupted by the phone ringing. A phone call at this time on a Sunday. I have a good idea of who it is, and I'm terrified of what will happen if I were to ignore the call. Hello, this is Emiya. This is Fujimaru. I feel dizzy. She's so overpowering. The sound of her voice is enough to pull me back down to everyday reality from before all this nonsense that happened overnight. So why did this phone call not happen in this route? I wonder why it did not happen in this one. So something else changed the fact that Fuji is calling. What do you want? Just so you know, I'm busy, Fujini. What? I'm busy too. I gave up my day off to teach my students. It's strange. It's like she's right in front of me, puffing with pride. Okay, well, nobody here is being robbed or dying, so you can go back to chaperoning club activities with a clear consciousness and all that, huh? I try to cut the conversation short. Hey, wait, your big sister is swallowing her pride and calling you, so it would be terrible if you hung up without listening to what I have to say. Yeah, I've been neck deep in it for the past night. Not that saying so would help any. Though I suppose if she's desperate enough to make a call, she really is in trouble. Okay, so what's up? I want to eat lunch. How about those sweet rolled omelets you make? That'll be it for my order. I want it delivered to the Kyoto Club right away. Bye! Honestly, what's up with that teacher? Man, they say that beasts go wild when they're hungry. I put my apron back on. Well, there's leftovers from lunch anyway, and rolled omelets are always easy enough to add. Okay, I'm done. Saber, can you watch the house for a bit? I'll be right back. So, wait here, okay? I head out to the hallway, carrying Fujini's lunch. Saber follows. She's still following. I put on my shoes. When I look up, Saber is also putting on her shoes without saying a word. My voice is annoyingly timid. I can already tell what she's going to say, but I have to ask. Well... I shall accompany you if you're going outside. Servants can protect their masters. It's dangerous to let you walk outside alone. I knew it. Well, this is something we would have run into eventually. This is a good opportunity, so I should tell her now. Masters try to avoid drawing attention, right? Then it's safe during the day. As long as I stay away from secluded areas, they won't attack me. I understand, yet to be sure, since you're still inexperienced, I need to be by your side at all times. At all times? Does that mean literally? That's stupid. We can't do that. First of all, what are you going to do when it's time to sleep? Are you testing me, Shiro? I must be most alert while you're asleep. Of course I shall be standing at your side. I quickly look away to hide my reddening cheeks and try to take a breath to calm myself down. Damn, how stupid of me. It finally sinks in. This is what it means to fight alongside Saber. What's wrong? I do not think that is surprising. I'm just going to do what Rin did last night. Are you kidding me? I'm going to go crazy before we start fighting if you do that. I can't let that slide. I'll prepare a room for you, so you use that. I won't give in even if you look at me with those eyes. Please put an end to this foolishness. I believe I've been patient, but I cannot abide by it any further. As a master, you continue to make unreasonable choices. I cannot obey unless you explain your reasoning. Saber looks up at me, frustrated. Her stare makes me want to curl in on myself, but I do my best to fire back. There's no reason. I'm telling you to just do as I say. It's fine during the day, so you should go ahead and rest. I refuse. If you do not give me a clear reason, I will not back down. You don't get it, do you? Since you're a girl, there's no way we can sleep in the same room. Aw, Shiro, you are doing so good! You were doing so good, Shiro. Saber freezes. Anyway, I'll prepare a room once I get back, so rest until then. I make a break for the door. You're not gonna outrun her, dude. Am I a kid or what? My face must be red as a tomato. I slap it as I make my way out. Well, anyway, Saber should be convinced since I told her so firmly. Though I should probably apologize for yelling when I get back. I go down the hill. It takes me 30 minutes to get to the school, a fair distance normally, though I'm walking pretty fast today. The reason being, Saber's in hot pursuit. She follows behind me silently. Oh, miss, I wouldn't qualify for assassin. If I don't do anything, she'll follow me right onto the school grounds. I have to tell her clearly right now. I said to wait at home. You're going to disobey your master. I stop and turn around. She glares at me, and after a moment of clearly mulling over what to say, who knows? If a servant doesn't obey their master, they must not have heard them. She grumpily turns away from me. I ignore her and descend the hill, behind me ever present. She continues to pressure me without saying a word. Go home already? Do I have to tell you directly for you to understand that it's annoying that you have to follow me? I glare at the girl who stays exactly 5 meters behind me. I don't know what her problem is, but I've met with her silent defiance. Jeez. I don't get why she's so mad. And she's being stubborn now. Hang on. That just appeared. How long ago was that? Can I see? Or no? No, I can't see. Dang. Okay, fine. Do what you want. This time I actually ignore her and start walking. It looks like it's finally stopped, being bad, the stream latency, so that's nice. Too bad everything's still so delayed. I go up the hill that leads to the school. Miama has a lot of hills, but this slope is especially long. From the school building that sits on top of the hill, you can get an unobstructed view of the whole town. It's a bit past 1 p.m. Fortunately, I don't see any students around on the way. Must be because it's Sunday and the ones having club practices are taking a break after eating lunch. Guess I'm in luck, but it won't be like that from here. With a sigh, I surrender. I turn around. Saber is making her way up the hill, still glaring. I imagine that now I've started to ignore her, she's even more grumpy. Yes, you said I may do as I please. You only listen to what's convenient for you, huh? Of course, I am a servant, so I cannot let my master remain in danger while I am present. Fine, I give up. If I'm raising the white flag, so you can come along. You'll understand that it's a safe place once you see it for yourself. Also, I'm sorry for yelling at you earlier. Huh? Well, let's make up a story for you. You're a relative of my father, and you came to visit and sightsee. Is that alright? I go up the hill alongside Saber. Oh, yes, if that's what's convenient for you, then I do not mind. Alright, it's decided. Yeah, you would have met them sooner or later, so it doesn't matter if I introduce you to them now. That's right. She's bound to meet Fujini in Sakura if she's staying at my place. I forgot to ask you, but where did you get those clothes? Maureen gave them to me. She said I would need regular clothes since I cannot turn into spirit form. That's unexpected. I'm surprised at Tosaka's kindness, but I'm more surprised she has such mature tastes. What about your armor then? Is it back at the house? No, that armor is made from my magical energy. When I cut off the supply, it disappears. When it's time for battle, I can immediately protect my body with it. So you can make it appear and disappear at any time. Yeah, so there's no need to worry. If an enemy were to attack us here, I will protect you. I see. Yeah, that is comforting. Maybe it's in reaction to keeping quiet until now that my honest opinion slips out. Saber doesn't answer my slip of the tongue and continues up the hill. Up the hill we go, up the hill we go. We arrive at the school. I can only be open about this now. I can pretend I'm showing a new transfer student around the school. If someone stops to ask you something, just shake your head without saying anything. It'll be best if you pretend you don't understand Japanese. What's up with the grim look on your face? Don't scare me like that. Huh? I wasn't looking at you, Shiro. I was surprised at how strong the traces of magical energy here are. Traces of magical energy? Are you sure? Saber says so, but I don't feel anything. Well, not that I can sense magical energy unless it's really concentrated. Yes, but it's not something you should be surprised about. Reina's in the same grade as you, correct? This place is where a mage as strong as her has been for over a year. I'm sure she has a workshop, so energy will leak out even if she attempts to hide it. The magical energy that Saber feels seems to be from Tosaka. That's pretty careless of her. See if you can sense her magical energy before you even go inside. Wait, is she there right now? No, it seems that Rin is not here herself. Rin herself is not there. Blech. If she was, I would feel it even stronger. There are no humans resembling a mage on site as of now. Something here feels off, which bothers me, but there is no danger. I told you I'd be fine. Come on, we're going in, so stay close. Yeah, it's 9 minutes delayed as stream from me. Emiya, you in charge of lunch? Comes in handy sometimes to find someone who knows you well enough. Ayako Mitsuzuri, the captain of the Kyoto Club, even figured out my reason for being here at a glance. Yeah, I'm the delivery boy you guessed. Is Fujini inside? She is? Man, you saved us. Whenever Miss Fujimura is hungry, she's crazy. The cafeteria is closed too, so we're considering going to get food from somewhere. It was that serious? Wait, were you thinking of going down to Kyoto by yourself? Where else is there to go? We're already short on money for equipment, so I can't spend too much on emergency food. As expected of Mitsuzuri, who's notorious for being stingy. By the way, Toyetsu is the name of the supermarket in the shopping district. In the Kyoto Club, anyone who is taking a break and resting their arm muscles is sent to grocery run as an excuse. It's a contradictory custom where it's an excuse to rest your arm, but you have to carry a lot of groceries on the way back. That sucks. Here's our lunch. It got late, but give it to Fujini, will you? And hold out the paper bag. Well, that's a fancy 3-layered set. Nice, haven't seen that in a while. You sure are good at this sort of thing. I don't know what she's happy about, but she smiles. Well, in comparison, she's good at mass production. Mitsuzuri is usually the one in charge of dinner at our training camps, and she surprises everyone every time. The world of cooking is vast, considering how her curry was good despite having whole potatoes in it. Well, anyway, Mitsuzuri only looks inside the bag, but doesn't take it. No need to tease, just take the bag. Isn't it chaotic in there with Fujini going wild? Yeah, if you think so, you should go in already and hand it to her. First of all, you should know she'll obviously get mad if I say I turned you away. I don't want to be chewed out. Accept your fate and go in. She points to the dojo with her chin. True enough, it would be scary later on if I don't at least go to see her. It's not like I came here for practice, so I can just leave as soon as I hand her the lunch. I give up and head to the archery range. Hey, Mitsuzuri, you've been here long enough now. You should at least check if Fujini has her lunch in the morning. It's too creepy imagining a teacher looking at her students' lunches. Well, I was tired this morning. I've been busy, so I don't have much time to spare. I guess there's no use complaining to you. Then she suddenly comes in close and whispers in my ear. Samia, who's that? She's so beautiful. Do you know her? She asks me in a nervous voice. Yeah, I'm sure anyone would be surprised seeing Saber, especially since she's trying to follow me inside the archery range without saying anything. So, is that an acquaintance of yours? It's complicated to explain, but it would be helpful if you could say that she is. Also, if you can explain to everyone so that they won't make a fuss about her when we go in, I'll be forever in your debt. I'm curious what the situation is, but I like the bargain. Don't take it back later. Okay, Emiya. I open the door. Saber silently follows behind Mitsuzuri and me. We enter the dojo. The archery range after lunch break is noisy like a battlefield. Saying her stomach hurts so much she's about to die. How old were those crackers? That's just a stomach ache. I also ate that and I'm fine, so give her some tea. I'm going to practice with the target, so please let me move the stove. It's cold in the corner of the dojo. Okay, since you've got some nerve using that name, run 3 laps around the range in shorts. We're gonna whip you into shape. We have someone bleeding over here. Kitako cut her cheek at the bowstring. You don't have to go to the nurse's office with a wound like this. Just rub some aloe on it. It's planted on a hill in the back. Why is this bow bent backwards? I can't string it like this. Hey, don't string it pushing to from the top. You're still young, so get someone to help you if it's hard. If it flips and comes apart, your neck will be broken. That's it. It'll break your neck if you damage our... That is, I'll break your neck if you damage our bows. There's no powder in my hand slipping. Oh, really? Could someone go to the storage room and bring the stock? Sensei, we're out of stock. I think it's because you forgot to order more of the other day. Yeah. Then the first years are to go to the baseball club and steal some rosin bags. She's nuts. Man, this place doesn't change at all. Well, I can't stick around this pandemonium forever. Great timing. Hey, Sakura. I call out to the girl in the front of the bow rack. Sakura turns the bow she's holding and runs to me, bewildered. Why did you come here today? Could it be, I brought lunch for Fujini. Sorry, but can you take this to that maniac teacher over there? Oh. Yeah, that's right. Come to think of it, she was making a call. Not sure where her smile goes, but it vanishes at the same time she slumps her shoulders. Shiro, she was hoping you came to rejoin the club. That'd be the one. When she gets hungry, Fujini becomes a dictator, huh? Might be a little too late now, but she can have what I made. Also, sorry I came home late last night. Thank you for making dinner. Yes, thank you for saying so, but... She looks behind me. There stands a golden-haired girl that is out of place in the archery range. Senpai? What, am I actually too late? I made yours just in case, too. No, that's not true. I'm hungry, too. I gave half my lunch to Miss Fujimura. That's what I thought. I made yours so you can eat it right away, so it shouldn't take that much time. If that's the case for everyone, I don't think anyone would complain about resuming lunch. You're right. Thank you for the meal, Senpai. Will you be at the dojo all day today? I think so. Since I'm here, I may as well stay until practice is over. I skipped yesterday, so I'll make dinner today, and you should come with and eat it with us. Yes, I'd love to. I'll go get Miss Fujimura. Senpai, please just drop off the lunch and go somewhere, okay? Don't do that. Sakura goes to get Fujini in a hurry. When I look back, I see members buzzing in conversation over Saber. And Mitsuzuri going around explaining things. Oops. Well, for now, I think I've accomplished my initial goal. I'm so full. The sugar's flowing to my brain, so I'm finally back to my regular self. The break room. Fujini sips tea while she eats some sweet bean jelly. Must be because Fujini is calm now, but the sound of bowstring twangs and arrows cutting through the air is all that echoes around the dojo. Miss Fujimura, I'll be taking my turn at the range if you'll excuse me. Righto. Can you tell Mitsuzuri to come here? I need to talk to her. Okay, Senpai, please make yourself comfortable. If you can, I would appreciate it if you coached me. Sakura bows and leaves. But as she does so, she stares uneasily at Saber, who is silently watching by the wall. So what are you going to do after this, Shiro? I'll finish practice by 5, but do you want to stay and watch? What should I do? Just from what I see, Saber seems to be gazing at the archery range with interest herself, so I should... Oh! This is where the choice is. We will overwrite the day 4 save. The start of day 4 save. So, that's what Telephone Murder Fuji was about. Oh, so we have 3 choices here. We can choose to stay at the archery range, which is something Saber seems to want. We can show Saber around the school, which could possibly lead to discovering Blood for Andromeda early, or we could go to the student council room for no reason in particular. I don't even know why that's an option. Rin would not be here today, because she has no obligations. So I think just staying at the archery range. This might give us some points with Seiba. I'm going to check. It does not. Okay. And it looks like all 3 might lead to the same result. Yeah. It would probably cause some trouble if I were to take Saber to walk around the school. I should stay in this familiar room and chill until evening. I'll stay and watch if it's not going to be a bother, Fujini. Alrighty, I'll go coach then, so you can just space out here. If you feel like shooting, go right ahead. You're my student, and you know better than most people. I suppose I am better than the others on the shooting front. Even though I've been away from it, I'm sure I can get the same results as when I was active. That's not because of archery skills. I can hit the target like I do mentally while I'm working on magecraft. That's not true, Fujini. I'm no good with persistence part of the sport. What, the shoot 200 arrows a day and the rest is just about releasing the bow thing? You focus on some of the boring parts, Shiro. Anyone who knows Kyoto should know this. Anyway, I'm not going to shoot half-heartedly. I'm not in the swing of it anymore, so I don't know if I'll even hit the target. But Shiro shooting arrows every day isn't the only way to train. Even if you're not shooting, if you're training yourself, that's enough for persistence part. It's good to draw a clear line, but having respect towards the sport covers commitment. Anyway, don't sweat the small stuff and just go with the flow, my guy. Wow, she's a lot more chill than normal. She heads to the range, as if tagging in Mitsuzuri enters. Excuse me, why the long face, Emiya? Why is she in the standard school uniform while Sakura's in the shooting uniform, out of curiosity? Got the whole spiel from Miss Fujimura, eh? I guess. She told me not to worry so much, though she is probably right. I see, I totally thought you lost interest. I didn't realize you still had the itch. That's a bit unexpected. It's unexpected. What, did it look like it got bored with Kyoto or something? Yes, I mean, you only missed the target once. From day one, when I joined, all I thought was that you had crazy skills. Your form was beautiful, and you seemed like you didn't know how to miss. And then I thought, man, you must not even be happy anymore when you're this good. Even without a bow, you can get into the headspace, and it's annoying that it looked like the bow was maybe even in the way. Was I right? I bet Kyoto's to shoot one's mind. The arrow isn't shot at the target, but at the mind of the shooter. That sounds deadly. Those who can't face themselves, or those who can't shoot oneself, won't understand the mental space they need to find. In other words, Kyoto is a way to kill oneself. To make yourself transparent and aim to be one with nature. The 8 stages of shooting are, for that, Ashibumi, the footing, Dozukiri, the correct posture, Yugamai, readying the bow, Uchiyo Koshi, the action of raising the bow, Hikiwake, drawing the bow, Kai, the full draw, Hanare, the release, and Zanshin, the follow-through of the shot. Specifically with Kai, the unity of target of oneself. With the release of the arrow that has become oneself, the snapshot in time is called the Hanare. The self becomes further away with a hit, as well as the action and result becoming one. It all converges to make the past and future into singular ports. That is Zanshin. Excuse me. It's a ritual, practice to build oneself. That's right. Basically, Kyoto's process resembles meditation in magecraft. I suppose I'm preaching to the choir here. Hitting the target is a bonus. Kyoto is a mental framework, and it's a path rather than skills. Put another way, Kyoto is a sport where you cannot reach that state of mind if you don't have a bow. I thought that was the boring part for you. The rest of us shoot an arrow, and when it hits the target, we get the illusion of feeling it. Even though we know that shooting is only a means to doing so, we don't know if we're able to purify oneself until the arrow hits the target. But Emiya, you're the type that doesn't care where the arrow goes. Anyone can hit the target in Kyoto. If you disregard the 8 stages and just focus on the technique of hitting the target, anyone can do it. That's only making arrow hit the target with their skills. Real shooters hit the target no matter how bad skill-wise the shooter may be. That's not true. I go to the range so that I can hit the target too. That's what I'm talking about. Do you actually need to come all the way to the range to practice? Even the bow part seems irrelevant in the first place for you. You missed the target once, right? I wanted to see if you'd flip out, but it was still nothing from you. When I asked why, you said I deliberately pictured a miss. You didn't miss because you screwed up, you missed because you wanted to. That's when I realized you always picture hitting the target before you even fire. Everything else is just a follow-on through. What are you talking about? That's just basics, right? Don't you also imagine the arrow hitting the target and following through accordingly? Of course, people try all sorts of things and hope for the best, but that's only in our imagination. We can't envision things like you, Emiya. You're already one with nature and all. You've reached the state of nothingness, to put it in martial arts terms. I don't think he's reached nothingness. He's not reached a void. I don't know if I can actually envision it like that, but I can agree on the nothingness part. Being able to erase oneself to make a circuit is the sign of a strong mage. To make the self transparent and rid oneself of any attachments and desires to reach a goal, simply chasing after the result. When it comes to making oneself into nothingness, the training for Kyoto and magecraft are similar. This is getting complicated. What are you getting at, Mitsuzuri? What I'm saying is, since you're unselfish, that transparency is easy for you. You should be more greedy and selfish. It's boring if you become a master at such a young age, you know. I won't tell you to be like Shinji, but why don't you have some fun once in a while? I'm at a loss for words. On one hand, I don't really see it, but on the other, I can't think of anything that I consider fun. I told you, that's why Sakura has such a hard time with you. If you don't know how to let loose now, you won't know how to when you get older. That's what society calls good-for-nothings. She gives me a pointed, do you understand, sort of look that's sort of surprising for her. Man, am I really that helpless that you're concerned about my future? Why are you so worried about me? Because you don't laugh, Emiya. Huh? In response to the what? I'm talking about training camp. Everyone had a blast, but you never really let yourself laugh at my best jokes. Good lord. If he reached nothingness, what about Musashi? Exactly. So that means... Yeah, I'm still mad about that, and I keep receipts. Mitsuzuri says this, smiling and challenged at me, her chosen opponent. That scene is done. I hope, is it? We're reaching another split. Okay, so there is this scene, and then presumably a couple others, though there can be gaps as well. So we don't necessarily have two choices up ahead. Club practice ends by the time the sun sets. The sun goes down early in winter, and they must be taking into account the incidents that have been happening lately. Oh yeah, where's Shinji? I haven't seen him. He's ditching. Maybe he got a girlfriend, but he's been like that recently. I dread to think of him doing something like that to Medusa. Mitsuzuri says this as if it's nothing, and makes her way towards the school building. See you later. I have some business at the teacher's office. The Kyoto captain leaves, fiddling with the room key. We're at the front gate. With the sun setting on the town below us, I part with the others along with Fujini, Sakura, and Saber. Bye. Don't bully Emiya. Everyone sees us off in high spirits as we head down the hill. We descend back into town. Oh, wow. Stream is caught up very fast. Thank you for the 4 bits. GWG Chronobolt, thank you for the throw for the 4 bits. Why am I so concerned about splits? Huh? Why is that girl following us? Well, it seems as though she didn't think of it at the time, but it's finally catching on. Think of it as multiple ways. Good. But I want to see everything. Now an actual cheer. Alright. Thanks again. It is appreciated. Do you know her, Shiro? This is the second time someone's asked me today. Thanks to Mitsuzuri giving me a rehearsal I'm able to answer without question. I think I can actually start speaking now again to people in the chat because it's caught up quite nicely now. I think we are like less than a minute behind. Woo! I'm less than a minute behind on chat now. I can respond with better timing than 9 minutes, though. That makes me wonder where the 9 minutes disappeared to, as far as chat is concerned. I'm the one who brought her. I answer as nonchalantly as I can. That's what I thought. So, Senpai, how do you know her? Yeah, I didn't know you had a foreign friend. Well, not a friend, but she's an acquaintance of my father. She's the daughter of someone my old man met when he was flying around the world. Kiritsugu's, so she came to visit Kiritsugu. Now, does Saber have a reaction? Nope, no change in her facial reactions. That's right, she'll be staying at my place for a while, so please do your best to be accommodating. But yes, again, thank you, Chronobolt. Thank you for the cheer. And they both freeze at that realization. Both Sakura and Fujini react in the same way at the exact same time. If I was told that girl will start living with you today, then it would be weird to not be surprised. Shiro, are you saying you're going to be living with her? Some could say a bottomless stomach is Seba. Some could say that. Saber's only staying for a short while. I'm just giving her a place to stay. It's nothing to be so shocked by. So, here is a point, of course. While it's obviously, you know, pointless to try and deceive Sakura, oh, this blonde foreigner is suddenly staying with Shiro, who might have magic. She's probably a servant, or a master, but given that Saber went off and said that, yes, we are known by our class names, could you not have come up with some other name to call her? So that way, you know, people don't know, people who are in the know don't automatically know, oh, so there's a Holy Grail war going on, and this girl just happens to show up and her name is Saber. And plus, just how many people would think that's a common name in general? Saber is not the name of a person. And if you're a person with a name of Saber, then you have my condolences. Is her name Saber? Yeah, it's a rare name. She's not used to Japan, so she may act differently. Oh, she seems unapproachable, but she's really nice. Sakura, it would be helpful if you could become friends with her. Yes, and not a person. Okay, that's fine, but she doesn't make eye contact with me and looks at Fujini as if pleading for help. Do you approve of Saber staying over? I can't approve of it as a teacher, but I can't ignore someone who came for Kiritsugu. She looks responsible, so I don't think anything will happen. Right, Shiro? She gives me a sidelong glance. Of course, Kiritsugu's guest is my guest. I'm not going to be rude to her. If anything, she's like a little sister. Shiro. Shiro, Emiya. Also, notice how Sakura's expression has changed. She is concerned now. By the way, how old is she? She looks younger than Sakura. Well, something like that. Yeah, she's in her 30s, I want to say it is. Fujini stares into my face. And as we're at the bottom of the hill, suddenly... Do you like her? Surprise attack. I don't know her. I just met her, so I can't say. My face is hot. My face looks red to Fujini right now. You're not lying, but the possibility isn't zero. I think, technically speaking, she pulls the sword from the stone at, like, 12 or 13, so her age is kind of frozen at that. Because J6, you might not like her, but we know what happens when Saber grows up. It would be very hard for Saber to pass off as a man if she grew up. I don't know what she got that from. What she got from that. Fujini crosses her arms and goes quiet, as if she's thinking hard about something. I mean, MHXX isn't too stacked. That is what a grown-up Saber would look like, right? You're not thinking of her Lancer and Lancer Alter forms as grown-up Saber, right, J6? You're thinking of MHXX, the more reasonable body shape for an adult version of Saber. As a result, Saber's stay was approved. MHXX, the servant version. The foreigner, the 4-star foreigner in the mech armor. I guess that's fine. It'll be a good experience if you can think of it as a homestay, and there's a lot of empty rooms here. Fujini's single opinion settles it. Sakura didn't say anything the whole time, but in the end... I don't feel like I have a say in this. She agreed in the end. And so dinner time rolls around. I put an extra effort to make dinner welcome Saber, starting with preparing salad-style seared bonito and fried chicken with a zesty green onion sauce, a classic meat and potato stew, and to top it off, a variety of tempura, including shrimp. The menu is kind of all over the place, but... Awkward silence. It ended without anyone saying anything. Splish, splash, I washed the dishes in the kitchen. Not that I expected everyone to be the best friends from day one, but couldn't there have been a bit more conversation? I think I made the tempura especially good this time. Man, Shiro, come on, dude. I know you're dumb and socially inept, but come on, Shiro, you're not that dumb. It's straight instead of I think I made tempura especially good this time. It's straight instead of curved, so the outside is slightly crunchy. It was perfectly made, so they could have at least said something. They still finished everything. What's up with just one more please repeated 3 times, only being the only thing said? Cleaning up after 4 people takes a while. Now that I think about it, is Sakura protesting the situation by not helping today of all days? It's past 9 p.m. They usually go home around this time. If you're going home, can you see Sakura off? I call out from the kitchen while washing the dishes. You cannot recall MHXX? The Servantverse summer version of MHX? The space cop who is an avatar for capitalism, truly the most despicable of all the eldritch entities in the multiverse? You cannot remember MHXX? There's no response. Fujini is watching TV as if it's not her concern. Hello, Earth's Miss Fujimura. I go to the living room and tap her on the head. Then... Sorry, but no dice. I won't be able to take Sakura home for a while. Why? Do you have something to do something, Fujini? I mean, I know you hate her, but can you at least agree that her adult body shape is a better idea for what Saber would look like as an adult than the Lancer/Ruler/Lancer Alter versions of her body shape as an adult. Can you at least agree with that? Nah, I'll be staying here starting tonight too. As if it were nothing, Fujini makes another sneak attack on me. What? Why don't you join us, Sakura? I'll contact your family, so don't worry. Wouldn't it be more fun if 3 of us had a sleepover? Oh, yes please. I knew I could count on you, Miss Fujimura. Wait. Why are you so enthusiastic about it, Sakura? It's still cutting off? Alright, then let's use the room in the back. We have plenty of beds and pajamas for all of us. That's fine with you, right, Saber? As far as the stream preview is concerned, everything seems to be caught up at this point. So that's weird that it's still buffering for you. Is it just me, or does it sound more like an order? Saber looks at me as if asking for help. This is troubling, Shiro. I must protect you, so I cannot fulfill my duty if I'm in the same room as them. And I would not know how to interact with them either. Sorry if Fujini brought it up. I can't stop her. Also, she's probably doing this as a compromise. If we decline, she might take back letting you stay here. If that happens, we'll have to sleep elsewhere. That would trouble me too. The battlefield at this house is excellent, so this location is a good base. As long as you're here, you will be prepared for any enemy surprise attacks. I see. Even more so, please just hang in there. As long as we both here, we can meet up anytime, right? Dealing with Fujini is a lot, but if you have trouble, just say you don't know Japanese. Hey, stop whispering over there. Coming over here, Saber. Shiro's a boy, so he's fine by himself, right? Fujini pulls Saber to her. It's been decided. Saber's stay got approved, Fujini's staying over, and Sakura's keeping them company, too. It's only half a day. The occupancy has drastically increased. Actually, this really is comparable to a hotel. Yeah, this definitely didn't happen in the Fate route. It's interesting that Fujini was more fine with Rin staying here and Seba than with just Seba staying here. It's bedtime. I don't know what happened to Saber, but the lights have gone out in that room. The sound of activity from it has gone silent. I've heard it gets noisy when there's 3 girls together, and it seems that is true even when they're quiet like Saber and Sakura are. Never mind, it was mainly Fujini's laughter. Though it was still pretty noisy. It isn't good for my mental health to have girls the same age as me being rowdy under the same roof. Damn it, my sleepiness went away thinking of them. Like Saber's troubled expression, if Sakura and Saber are getting along, or what Fujini is even thinking. The more I think, the more my head starts hurting. If it's like this, then it might have been better if Saber slept in the room next to mine. Oh, that happened in another world. Also, did I miss another... How? How am I missing these splits? What options am I not taking to get these splits? I want to know. It's 11 p.m. The lights are out in the house, and there's not a single sound outside. My hand goes to the door to slide it open to tiptoe by so Fujini doesn't hear anything. Now it's starting to grow unstable again. I go out to the garden. The moon is shining bright, while the cutting breeze is cold. In winter night, the world was silent as if frozen. The shed has gone still. The place where I got cornered by Lancer yesterday, and the place where Saber appeared. The entrance is still open, and the darkness inside feels heavy, feels uninviting. Dude, yes, your property is private property, but you are asking for trouble by leaving the door to your shed open, man. You're gonna let bugs and wild animals get in there. Not to mention the humidity, so things are gonna rot and rust so much faster. Come on, man. I go inside. Closing the door behind me to shut out the cold air, I turn on an old stove heater. Shoot over 200 arrows, huh? The teaching of archery focuses on accuracy, piercing strength, and persistence. Accuracy is how well one can hit the target. Piercing strength is the power to pierce the target. And lastly, persistence is how long one can maintain the accuracy and piercing strength. I think I read it somewhere that in an archery manual. Once one aims to be a shooter after they learn the true meaning of Kyoto, they continue that forever. So they say to shoot over 200 arrows, or something. Yeah, I don't know what I should do as a master, so I should at least train my magecraft. I sit down inside the shed and take a deep breath. He can envision that sword still, even though he has no connections. He does not have as deep of a connection to Seba. I control my breathing and begin my regular training. My mind imagines the same thing that it always does. An image of a sword that comes to mind. I ignore that and clear my mind even more. Once I've let magical energy flow throughout my entire body, I practice strengthening like usual. When I was attacked by Lancer last night, I succeeded in strengthening for the first time in a few years. I need to repeat it so I don't forget the sensation, or else it would be a waste. I narrow my eyes and breathe out deeply. That's all for now. I forget about the Holy Grail War, Saber, and Toe Saga once I immerse myself into the process. Clear all thoughts and hesitation from my mind. But during the process, the thought that Toe Saga, who's a mage like me, might be doing the same kind of training, never leaves my head. Oh, Shiro, she is doing so much more advanced shit than you are. So much more advanced. And that... Oh, we're at an interlude. Okay. Interlude 4-1. Unlimited Blade Walks. She weaves her way through an unnatural darkness. A desolate night. While the moonlight shines, she makes her way through the dark hallway and enters a room. This is a room of a random building. There are about 50 workers here. Most of them are male, and they're scattered like puppets with their strings severed. She grits her teeth. It helps that the darkness limits her vision. The rotten air is from a plant's smell that turned into smoke and filled the air. What is the scent? Can you tell, Archer? Opening the door and window, she asks someone behind her. Rian, I hope you are at least wearing gloves if you are approaching an area with 50 corpses inside of it. And opening things. You should have gloves on. I hope you have gloves on. There's no one there, but in the shroud of smoke a strong presence wavers. Must be witch's ointment, the kind made from umbellifers that destroy love. That's hemlock, right? Destroys love? I see. I wonder if the instigator of this has some grudge against men. If so, it must be a woman. I don't know what kind of grudge, but it must be deep-rooted to take out people even after becoming a servant. Not necessarily. Some guys just hate other guys, too. Some guys just hate other guys. Stop mansplaining. Oh, man, I was not expecting that. Oh, man. Rian calling out Archer. Stop mansplaining and open the windows. They're still breathing. At this rate, it doesn't matter whether we call for help now or if they're found in the morning. Let's leave as soon as we're done here, Archer. She opens all the windows on one side, treats the people in especially bad condition, and leaves the room. I have to take my clothes to the dry cleaners. She sniffs her coat. Though she was careful not to touch things for the most part, the scent of rust is still made into her. The room was sealed, and the floor of that room was covered in blood of 50 or so people threw up. Presence behind her takes form. What appears behind her is a knight in red. He is Archer and the servant who is protecting Rin Tosaka in spirit form. So they're flowing towards Ryoto Temple. Yeah, all the life energy that was taken is flowing toward the mountain. The common incidents happening in Shinto are caused by whoever is at that temple. I don't know about the master, but such a thing is beyond human power. If there's anyone capable of doing it, it would be the servant caster. So another interesting divergence. In the Fate route, Rin is staying with Shiro at this point, and Archer is still in recovery mode, so that means in the Fate route, because Shiro chose to be massively Force Saber, 50 men died, and he had no idea of it. That's kind of dark. Just Shiro choosing to ally with Rin quicker results in 50 people dying. Wow. Man, if Shiro knew that, I don't know what his reaction would be, but he would probably be pissed. A witch at Ryoto Temple, huh? In that case, we made a blunder last night. Blunder? You mean how we called it a tie with Berserker? I think that was the best possible outcome. I don't know about that. If Caster has such a large network, I'm sure she saw last night's battle. But despite that, we couldn't defeat Berserker. We let Saber go and we gave away the scope of our power. What part of that is good for us? His tone is biting and sarcastic. But Rin does not answer. It was not a mistake to drive Berserker away and help Saber. And most importantly, Archer hasn't shown the full scope of his power yet. Last night, it is true that the arrow Archer fired stopped Berserker, but even Rin, his master, had yet to find out his identity, or the identity of that powerful noble phantasm. Excuse me. No, she knows the principle behind it. It was just a bomb. He just detonated a bomb called a noble phantasm in front of his enemy. It goes without saying how exceptional it was. That was a one-time explosion of magical energy created from the most powerful of illusions. A noble phantasm. Broken phantasm. That's what it is. That's what the Red Knight's deadly noble phantasm is called. Though that itself is also strange. Servants typically only wield one noble phantasm, and it is part of them that they have had in their past life. What kind of heroic spirit would destroy such a thing so freely? It's not easy to fix a noble phantasm that has been destroyed. It's like committing suicide for a servant to destroy their own. In other words, Archer abandoned his strongest weapon in a situation where he still had 6 enemies he needed to defeat. No more than that, other servants would faint if they found out he destroyed his own noble phantasm. It is their proof as a hero. Oh, sorry, I wasn't listening. I asked, what are we going to do? You must be tired from the previous battle, so we should go back home and get some rest. Rin clenches her fist in response to Archer's words. The previous battle. A large number of skeleton golems wiggling in the hallway. All of them were destroyed by her own hand. So Rin has been proactive. She didn't need Archer's help and didn't want to expose Archer's abilities over something like that. More importantly, she felt anger towards the enemies who would break the rules as a mage and involve innocent people. That's why she destroyed them. She beat them without mercy until there was nothing left. She did not show any sympathy even if the bones were someone that could have been alive just the other day. She did not suffer any wounds from this battle, except one. She fought and kept the nausea from overwhelming her. In exchange, she bit her lip so hard it bled. We're going after Caster. You can still feel her presence, right? We'll get things over with before she escapes to Ryoto Temple. I'm surprised, wasn't it your principle not to do things that you don't think you can do? That's right. I can't do things where I know the outcome. That's different. If we go after her right now, I'm sure we'll be able to find some clue. And most of all, you can't stand without starting a fight, huh? Good grief. You're letting the easy opponents run loose and going after the hardest opponent to defeat? That's fine. Let's say we're B. We can finish them off any time, so we don't have to worry about them. We don't have to go out of our way if we're going to do anything. As long as he's hiding at home, I'll let him be. This will be a different story if that master is in front of you. For example, if Shiro Emiya were to appear here in front of you without any self-awareness as a master, those words are as if to test her. In a voice without emotion, looking down at the night town, I'll kill him. I have no obligations towards someone who doesn't know something like that. Rin Tosaka asserts as if to convince herself. To convince herself is the key word. And that is the interlude, showing the depth of what Rin can actually do when she's on her own and has a functional servant. She is actually competent. And that is the end of day 4, which means it's going to be the end of today's stream of the Fate Stay Night Remaster. We will be saving the game here. Save. And we will be exiting to the menu. But yeah, I'm going to call this stream of the FSN Remaster here. Tomorrow is the Pokemon Presents, but I'm not going to be live streaming that because I don't know. First off, I don't know when it is. And if it's at the time when my class is, then I can't really, say no to my class and yes to streaming my reactions to that. But Friday, we will be playing Pokemon Violet, the Indigo Disc, and if there's any special things from the stream happening in Pokemon Violet, we'll be doing that. Otherwise, we will probably be taking on Kieran. Yeah, probably. But, yeah, that's all for now. So, I have been Soulrack Dragon. I hope you've enjoyed today's stream. If you have, leave me some feedback in whichever way you so see fit. If you want to check out more by me, be sure to check out my channel here on Twitch or YouTube. Same name, same games. There is plenty of content for all to enjoy. But, once again, I thank you all so much for coming out. Hope you enjoyed. Have a fantastic evening, everybody. And thank you again for the cheer, Chronobolt.